The morning sun cast long shadows across the pristine cricket grounds of the Pakistan Cricket Academy in Lahore. Prince William adjusted his white cricket shirt and looked out at the perfectly maintained pitch where some of the world's finest players had honed their skills. Catherine stood beside him, her hair tied back in a practical ponytail, wearing cricket whites that had been specially tailored for this visit. The couple had arrived in Pakistan just 2 days earlier for their official royal tour, but today was different. Today wasn't about formal ceremonies or diplomatic meetings. Today was about cricket, and both of them were genuinely excited. "I haven't held a cricket bat since school," Catherine whispered to William as they walked toward the academy's main building. The sound of leather on willow echoed from the practice nets where young Pakistani cricketers were already hard at work. "Don't worry," William replied with a grin. "I'm sure it's like riding a bicycle." The Pakistan Cricket Academy had been buzzing with preparation for weeks. Head coach Rashid Ahmed had personally overseen every detail, from ensuring the pitch was in perfect condition to arranging for some of Pakistan's most promising young talents to be present. This wasn't just any royal visit. The British royal family's connection to cricket made this moment particularly special. As they entered the Academy's reception area, they were greeted by the warm smiles of Academy officials and young cricketers who had been selected to participate in the day's activities. The walls were lined with photographs of Pakistan's greatest cricket heroes, from Imran Khan to Wasim Akram, from Inzamam ul Haq to the current captain Babar Azam. 18-year-old Fatima Malik stood nervously among the group of young cricketers. She was one of Pakistan's most promising female batters, having recently been selected for the national under-19 team. She had been practicing her English for weeks, hoping she might get a chance to speak with the royal visitors. "Your Royal Highnesses," Coach Ahmed began, his voice filled with pride, "welcome to our academy. We are honored to have you here today to experience the passion that cricket brings to our nation." William nodded appreciatively as he took in the surroundings. The academy was impressive, modern facilities mixed with traditional cricket values. Young players moved through their routines with dedication and focus that reminded him of his own school days. "We're thrilled to be here," Catherine responded warmly. "We've heard so much about the incredible talent that comes through this academy." The tour began in the indoor training facility, where younger players were working on their technique. 10-year-old Hassan Ali was in the middle of perfecting his bowling action when he noticed the distinguished visitors watching. His coach had told him that important guests were coming, but he hadn't realized just how important until he saw the cameras and security personnel. "That's the lovely action," William observed, genuinely impressed by the boy's form. "How long have you been playing?" Hassan's eyes widened. He had practiced this conversation in his head, but now that the moment was here, he felt overwhelmed. 3 years, sir," he managed to say. "I want to be like Shaheen Afridi." Catherine knelt down to Hassan's eye level. "That's a wonderful dream. Keep working hard, and maybe one day we'll see you playing at Lord's." The boy's face lit up with pure joy. This was a moment he would remember forever. As they moved through the facility, the royal couple observed various training sessions. In one corner, a group of teenage girls were practicing their batting under the watchful eye of former Pakistan women's captain Sana Mir, who had specially come to the academy for this visit. "The women's game in Pakistan has grown tremendously," Sana explained to Catherine. "These girls represent the future of cricket in our country." Catherine watched intently as 16-year-old Aisha Khan faced rapid deliveries from a bowling machine. Her technique was impressive, compact, well-balanced, with excellent timing. "She has tremendous potential," Sana continued. "Remind me a bit of myself at that age, though her technique is already more advanced than mine was." The group moved outside to the main practice area, where several nets had been set up. This was where the royal couple would get their chance to show their own cricket abilities. William had played cricket at school and occasionally participated in charity matches, while Catherine had limited experience but was known to be naturally athletic. "Right then," announced the academy's director, "shall we see what you can do?" A buzz of excitement went through the assembled crowd of young cricketers, coaches, and media personnel. This was the moment everyone had been waiting for. William was handed a bat first. It felt familiar in his hands, bringing back memories of summer afternoons at school. The weight was perfect, and he took a few practice swings to get his timing back. "I'll start with some gentle deliveries," offered Rashid, the academy's bowling coach, as he marked his run-up. The first ball was indeed gentle, a nice, straight delivery at medium pace. Williams' muscle memory kicked in, and he played a solid defensive shot straight back to the bowler. The watching cricketers nodded approvingly. "Good technique, Your Royal Highness," called out one of the senior coaches. The second ball came in slightly wider, and William attempted a cover drive. The connection wasn't perfect, but the ball rolled away for what would have been a comfortable single. "Not bad for someone who's been away from the game," William said with a self-deprecating smile. Catherine was next. She had changed into proper cricket shoes and had been getting advice from Sanaa Mir about her grip and stance. "Remember," Sanaa whispered, "watch the ball all the way onto the bat." The young bowler, clearly nervous about bowling to a princess, delivered a gentle full toss. Catherine's eyes lit up as she saw the opportunity. She stepped forward and drove the ball cleanly through the covers, earning applause from everyone watching. "Shot!" exclaimed William, genuinely impressed with his wife's natural ability. "I think she's been practicing in secret," joked Sanaa Mir, and Catherine laughed. The atmosphere was relaxed and joyful. Young Pakistani cricketers offered tips and encouragement, while the royal couple asked questions about technique and training methods. Language barriers melted away in the universal language of sport. 15-year-old Mohammed Asif, who had been quietly watching from the sidelines, finally gathered the courage to approach Prince William. "Sir," he said hesitantly, "would you like a try facing some spin bowling?" William's eyebrows raised with interest. "Are you a spinner?" "Yes, sir. Leg spin like Shane Warne." "Well then, let's see what you've got." This exchange marked the beginning of what would become an unforgettable display of cricket skills, cultural exchange, and genuine human connection that would resonate far beyond the boundaries of the academy. Mohammed Asif walked back to his mark with nervous excitement. He had bowled to many batsmen in his young career, but never to someone who might one day be King of England. His leg spin had earned him a place in Pakistan's under-16 development squad, but this was different. This was history in the making. "Take your time," Prince William called out encouragingly, settling into his batting stance. "I haven't faced a proper spinner in years." The young bowler ran in with smooth rhythm, his action a beautiful copy of the legends he had studied on countless YouTube videos. The ball left his hand with perfect rotation, drifting slightly in the air before pitching just outside off stump and turning sharply. William, caught off guard by the quality of the delivery, played and missed completely. The ball passed inches from his off stump, and wicketkeeper Fatima Malik collected it cleanly. "Magnificent bowling," William exclaimed, genuinely impressed. That would have gotten most batsmen out. The crowd of watching academy students erupted in applause and laughter. Mohammed Asif's face beamed with pride as his teammates patted him on the back. Again, William requested, adjusting his stance and taking a closer guard. This time he was ready for the turn. Asif bowled another leg break, but William had done his homework during the first delivery. He stepped back and across, opening his bat face to guide the ball through point for what would have been a boundary. "Now, that's more like it," Catherine called out from the boundary, where she was talking with some of the female academy students. Coach Rashid Ahmed watched with growing amazement. What had started as a ceremonial visit was turning into a genuine cricket session. Both royal visitors were showing real ability and, more importantly, genuine enjoyment of the game. "Your Royal Highness," Rashid called out, "would you like to try your hand at bowling?" William's eyes lit up. "I'd love to. I used to bowl medium pace at school." He handed his bat to one of the waiting students and walked to the bowling end. The academy's senior batting coach, former Pakistan Test player Yasir Hamid, padded up to face him. "Go easy on me, Your Royal Highness," Yasir joked, though everyone could see he was taking this seriously. William marked out a modest run-up, nothing too ambitious. His first delivery was respectable, straight, good length, and well-controlled. Yasir played it respectfully back to the bowler. "Good pace," Yasir commented approvingly. The second ball was even better. William had found his rhythm, and the delivery nipped back slightly off the pitch. Yasser had to adjust his shot at the last moment, managing only to get an inside edge that rolled away square of the wicket. "I think we might have found England's next bowling all-rounder," laughed Sanam Mir, who was now coaching Catherine in the adjacent net. Meanwhile, Catherine was discovering she had a natural talent for batting. Under Sanaa's expert guidance, she was playing shots with increasing confidence and timing. Her cover drives were particularly impressive, with a natural flow that suggested hours of practice, even though she insisted she was a complete beginner. Young Aisha Khan had been selected to bowl to the Duchess. At 16, she was one of the Academy's most promising fast bowlers, but she had never been more nervous in her life. "Just bowl naturally," Catherine encouraged, sensing the girl's anxiety. "I'm still learning, so don't worry about going easy on me." Aisha's first ball was tentative, but Catherine played it with soft hands, defending solidly. The second was bolder, fuller, and straighter. Catherine drove it beautifully through mid-on, the timing so perfect that the ball raced across the outfield. "Outstanding shot," exclaimed Sanam Mir. "You've been holding out on us, Your Royal Highness." As the session continued, more students joined in. What had been planned as a brief demonstration was expanding into a proper practice session. The Royal Protection Officers, initially tense about the informality developing, relaxed as they saw how genuinely the couple were enjoying themselves. Hassan Ali, the 10-year-old who had impressed William earlier, finally got his chance to bowl. His nervous energy had given way to excitement as he watched the older students interact with their distinguished visitors. "Can I bowl to you too?" he asked William shyly. "Of course," William replied, kneeling down to make himself a more appropriate target for the young boy's deliveries. Hassan's bowling was enthusiastic rather than technical, but William played each delivery with complete seriousness, offering advice and encouragement between balls. "Try to keep your arm higher," William suggested. "That will help you get more bounce." The boy adjusted his action and immediately saw improvement. His next delivery was straighter and quicker, and William had to play a genuine defensive shot. "Much better," William praised. "Keep practicing that action." Across the ground, Catherine was now facing the Academy's bowling machine, set to deliver balls at increasing speeds. Word had spread through the Academy that the royal visitors were actually playing cricket, and more students and staff had gathered to watch. "Shall we try you at 70 kilometers per hour?" suggested the machine operator. Catherine nodded, settling into her stance with growing confidence. The ball came through quicker than anything she had faced before, but her technique held firm. She played it solidly into the covers, earning applause from the growing crowd. Dr. Naila Khan, the Academy's Director of Women's Cricket Development, was taking detailed mental notes. "Your technique is remarkably sound for someone with limited experience," she observed. "Have you been getting coaching?" Catherine laughed. "Only from my husband, and that was mainly theoretical discussions while watching matches on television." "Well, you have natural timing and very good hand-eye coordination," Dr. Khan continued. "If you ever want to take up cricket seriously." The suggestion drew laughter from everyone in earshot, but there was genuine admiration in Dr. Khan's voice. Back in the main net, William was now facing the Academy's star fast bowler, 19-year-old Shahid Malik. This was a proper test. Shahid could bowl at speeds approaching 140 kilometers per hour and had recently been called up to Pakistan's under-19 squad. "I'll keep it around 80%, Shahid assured William, though his competitive instincts were clearly engaged. The first ball was genuinely quick, but William was ready. He played a solid forward defensive, the ball hitting the bat with a satisfying sound that indicated perfect timing. "Good pace," William commented, adjusting his grip slightly. Shahid's next delivery was faster and bounced more. William played back and across, defending safely but with evident respect for the bowler's skill. "You can go a bit quicker if you like," William suggested. "I'd like to see what you're really capable of." This invitation brought excited murmurs from the watching students. Shahid's eyes gleamed with competitive fire as he ran in for his next delivery. The ball was quick and well-directed, but William was equal to it. He played a crisp square drive that would have been 4 runs in a match, earning genuine applause from the Academy's coaches. "Excellent batting, Your Royal Highness," called out Yasir Hamid. That was a proper cricket shot. As the practice sessions continued, something special was happening. The formality that usually surrounded royal visits was dissolving into genuine sporting camaraderie. Students who had been intimidated an hour earlier were now offering technical advice and sharing their dreams and ambitions with their distinguished visitors. The Academy's newest recruit, 12-year-old Zara Ahmed, finally found the courage to approach Catherine during a break in the batting practice. "Your Highness," she said quietly, "I want to play cricket for Pakistan one day like my idol Bisma Maroof." Catherine knelt down to speak with her at eye level. "That's a wonderful dream. What position do you play?" "I'm a wicket-keeper, and sometimes I bat at number 4. Those are very important positions. Keep working hard, and maybe one day I'll be watching you play at Lord's or here in Pakistan." Zara's smile was so bright it seemed to light up the entire practice area. The afternoon was progressing beautifully, with both royal visitors showing genuine skill and enthusiasm for cricket. But the biggest surprise was yet to come, as the Academy's coaches had prepared a special challenge that would truly test the couple's cricket abilities and create a moment that would be remembered long after their visit ended. "We have a special surprise prepared," announced Coach Rashid Ahmed with a mischievous grin that immediately caught everyone's attention. The afternoon practice session had been going wonderfully, but clearly the Academy staff had something bigger planned. Prince William and Catherine exchanged curious glances as they were led toward the Academy's main pitch, a beautiful ground that had hosted several domestic matches and was considered one of the finest training facilities in Pakistan. "We thought you might enjoy a proper match situation," explained Dr. Naila Khan. "Nothing too serious, but enough to give you a real taste of competitive cricket." The students who had been watching from the sidelines suddenly seemed more organized. It became clear that this hadn't been a spontaneous decision. The Academy had planned this moment carefully. "We'd like to invite you to captain 2 teams of our students," Rashid continued. "A friendly match, just 4 overs each side to keep it manageable." William's competitive instincts immediately kicked in. "That sounds fantastic. Are you up for it?" he asked Catherine. "Absolutely," she replied, though everyone could see the butterflies starting in her stomach. "Though I should warn you, I might need some strategic advice." The students quickly divided into 2 teams. Catherine's team included Fatima Malik as wicketkeeper, fast bowler Aisha Khan, the talented leg spinner Muhammad Asif, and several other promising players. William's squad featured Hassan Ali, who was thrilled to be included despite being the youngest, Shahid Malik, the pace bowler, and some of the Academy's most experienced students. "As captains, you'll both have to bat and can choose when to bowl yourselves," explained Yasir Hamid, who would be umpiring the match. The coin toss was conducted with full ceremony. William called heads, and when the coin landed tails up, Catherine chose to bat first. "Good decision," advised Sanam Mir, who had agreed to act as Catherine's official coach for the match. "The pitch looks good for batting, and it might get harder later as it wears down." Catherine's team took the field with professional seriousness. She had decided to open the batting herself, partnering with 16-year-old batting prodigy Zainab Ali. The 2 walked out to the middle amid applause from Academy staff, media personnel, and other students who had gathered to watch this unprecedented match. William opened his bowling attack with Shahid Malik, the genuine fast bowler who had impressed everyone earlier. The first ball of the match was delivered with appropriate respect, quick enough to be challenging, but not intimidating. Catherine played it safely, defending solidly back to the bowler. She was clearly concentrating hard, determined to make a good account of herself. The second ball was fuller, and Catherine's natural instincts took over. She drove it cleanly through the covers for what would have been a beautiful boundary. The watching crowd erupted in appreciation. "Shot of the day so far," called out Prince William from his fielding position, genuinely proud of his wife's ability. Zainab Ali proved to be an ideal partner. Calm and technically sound, she played each delivery on its merits and ran well between the wickets. The partnership began to flow as both batters found their rhythm. William rotated his bowlers intelligently, bringing on Muhammad Asif's leg spin after the initial pace. The young spinner was in his element, varying his pace and flight skillfully. He bowled to Catherine with particular care, respecting both her developing technique and her status as his captain's opponent. Catherine's approach to facing spin was fascinating to watch. She had clearly been paying attention during her earlier conversations with Sanamir, using her feet well and playing with soft hands when the ball turned sharply. She's a natural timer of the ball, observed former Test player Yasser Hamid from his umpiring position. Very rarely does she look uncomfortable. The highlight of Catherine's batting came in the third over. Muhammad Asif had been building pressure with accurate bowling, but he slightly overpitched one delivery. Catherine saw the opportunity immediately, stepping down the pitch and lofting the ball cleanly over mid-on for 6 runs. The shot was so well executed that even the opposing team applauded. "Did you see that?" William called out in amazement. "Where did that come from?" Catherine's smile was radiant as she acknowledged the applause. "Beginner's luck," she called back, though everyone could see how pleased she was with the shot. Zainab Ali was proving equally impressive. Her technique was compact and correct, and she seemed to have an old head on young shoulders. She manipulated the field cleverly, working singles and twos to keep the scoreboard moving. By the end of the 4th over, Catherine's team had posted a competitive total. Catherine had contributed more than her fair share, including that magnificent 6 and several well-placed boundaries. Her final shot, a delicate late cut that ran down to the boundary, drew praise from everyone present. 78 runs in 4 overs, announced the scorer. "That's a challenging total." As the teams changed over, Williams' squad gathered around their captain for a brief strategy session. The target was achievable, but it would require some intelligent batting and perhaps a bit of luck. "I'll open with Hassan," William decided, giving the youngest player in the match a huge opportunity. "And we'll see how we go from there." Hassan Ali's face lit up with pure joy. To open the batting with a future king was beyond his wildest dreams. As they walked out to the middle together, William offered quiet words of encouragement. "Just play naturally," he advised. "Watch the ball carefully and don't worry about hitting big shots. Singles and twos will be fine." Catherine opened her bowling attack with Aisha Khan, whose pace and accuracy had impressed everyone throughout the day. Her first over was tight and controlled, conceding only 4 runs but building pressure. William looked comfortable from start. His timing was excellent, and his shot selection showed good cricketing intelligence. He worked the spinners cleverly, using the depth of the crease to either come forward or go back depending on the length. Hassan, meanwhile, was playing the innings of his young life. His technique was sound, his concentration total, and his running between wickets sharp and decisive. The partnership was working perfectly. "They're playing this very well," admitted Sanaa Mir, watching from the boundary. "Williams' experience is showing, but that young lad is holding up his end beautifully." The turning point came when Catherine decided to bowl herself. She had been getting tips from Muhammad Asif about basic spin bowling, and she was eager to try her skills in a match situation. Her first ball was tentative, a gentle off-break that turned slowly. William played it safely, but with evident amusement at his wife's new cricketing skill. "Not bad for a first attempt," he called out encouragingly. Catherine's second ball was better, more flight, better length. Hassan played it carefully, showing respect for his royal opponent's bowling efforts. But Catherine's third delivery was special. Whether by luck or developing skill, the ball dipped perfectly, spun just enough to beat Hassan's defensive stroke, and clipped the top of off stump. The young batsman walked off with a huge smile, having been dismissed by the Duchess of Cambridge in the most memorable cricket match of his life. "What a moment!" exclaimed Yasser Hamid. "I don't think any of us will forget this match." William continued to bat with authority, but the fall of his young partner had shifted the momentum slightly. Catherine's team sensed an opportunity and began to bowl and field with renewed energy. The match was building toward a thrilling climax, with genuine cricket skills being displayed by both teams and their royal captains. What had started as a ceremonial visit was turning into a proper contest that would create lasting memories for everyone involved. With Hassan Ali back in the pavilion after his memorable dismissal by Catherine, William needed a new partner for the crucial final phase of the chase. The scoreboard showed his team still needed 34 runs from the remaining 2 overs, a challenging but achievable target. Shahid Malik strode out to join his captain, the Academy's premier fast bowler, bringing both power and experience to the crease. The crowd of students had grown even larger as word spread through the Academy that an extraordinary cricket match was taking place. "Just play your natural game," William advised his new partner during a brief mid-pitch conversation. "We need to find the boundary a few times, but there's no need to take unnecessary risks." Catherine, flushed with excitement from her first-ever cricket wicket, consulted with her team about bowling strategy. Muhammad Asif, her star leg spinner, was eager to bowl to Prince William again. "I think he might try to attack you," Catherine said thoughtfully. "Can you bowl a bit wider of off-stump? Make him reach for the ball?" The young spinner nodded seriously. "Yes, Your Highness. I have a plan." Muhammad Asif's first ball of his new spell was perfectly executed, pitched outside off-stump with sharp turn back toward the batsman. William, perhaps anticipating the strategy, had moved across his stumps but found himself cramped for room. He managed to work the ball away for a single, but it was clear that Catherine's tactical advice was working. Shahid Malik faced the next delivery with positive intent. The ball was fuller, and he drove it cleanly through the covers for a boundary that brought appreciative applause from the watching crowd. Williams' team was back on track. "Excellent shot," Catherine called out sportingly, though her competitive instincts were clearly engaged now. The next over was crucial. Catherine decided to bring back Aisha Khan, whose pace and accuracy had been consistent throughout the match. 29 runs needed from 12 balls. The mathematics were straightforward, but the execution would be everything. Aisha's first ball was fast and straight. William played it firmly back past the bowler for 2 runs, showing excellent timing and placement. The running between wickets was sharp, with both batsmen understanding the urgency of the situation. Shahid faced the next delivery and immediately went on the attack. The ball was slightly short, and he pulled it powerfully square of the wicket. It would have been a certain 6 in a regular match, reducing the target significantly. "That's the shot we needed," Williams said approvingly, tapping his bat handle against Shahid's in congratulation. But Catherine's team wasn't finished. On Sana Amir's advice, she brought herself back into the bowling attack for what would likely be the final over of the match. "Are you sure about this?" asked Fatima Malik from behind the stumps. "It's a lot of pressure." Catherine's smile was determined. "If we win or lose, I want it to be with me bowling." The crowd sensed the drama of the moment. A future queen was about to bowl the final over of a cricket match to her husband, with the result hanging in the balance. Her first ball was nervous, a high full toss that William could have hit anywhere. But whether through sporting courtesy or genuine surprise at the delivery, he played it gently to mid-wicket for just a single. "Thank you." Catherine mouthed to him with a grateful smile. Shahid now faced Catherine's bowling with 18 runs needed from 5 balls. Her second delivery was much better, flight, dip, and a hint of turn. Shahid played forward defensively, but the ball hit the pad first before striking the bat. "How's that?" went up the appeal from the entire fielding team, led enthusiastically by young Muhammad Asif. Umpire Yasser Hamid raised his finger slowly, with a theatrical flourish that drew laughter from everyone present. Shahid walked off with good grace, having played his part in a memorable match. William now needed a new partner for the final few balls. To everyone's delight, Hassan Ali came running back onto the field, having been given special permission to bat again due to the unique nature of the match. "Back for more?" William asked the excited 10-year-old. "Yes, sir. Let's win this together." 15 runs needed from 4 balls. Catherine's third delivery was her best yet. Perfect length, turning just enough to challenge the batsman. William played it carefully, nudging it away for 2 runs. The tension was genuine now. Students who had started watching casually were now completely absorbed in the match. Academy coaches who had seen hundreds of games were caught up in the drama. Hassan faced Catherine's 4th ball, needing 13 runs from 3 deliveries. The young boy showed remarkable composure, playing a delicate shot that ran away for 3 runs, bringing William back on strike for the crucial final balls. 10 runs needed from 2 balls. Catherine's 5th delivery was courageous. She gave the ball air, inviting William to attack. He accepted the challenge, stepping down the pitch and driving cleanly through the covers. In a regular match, it would have been 4 runs. 6 runs needed from the final ball. The entire academy had gone quiet, everyone understanding they were witnessing something special. Catherine walked back to her mark, her concentration total. William took his guard carefully, knowing that this final ball would be remembered long after the official part of their visit was forgotten. The ball came through at medium pace, perfect length, turning slightly. William played the shot of the match, a classical cover drive that would have raced to the boundary in any cricket ground in the world. As the ball crossed the rope, his team erupted in celebration, but it was clear that everyone present understood they had all been winners in this extraordinary match. "What a finish!" exclaimed Yasser Hamid, raising both hands in appreciation of the cricket they had all witnessed. Catherine rushed over to congratulate William, her disappointment at losing completely overshadowed by the joy of the experience they had shared. "That was incredible," she said, slightly out of breath from the excitement. "I can't believe how much I enjoyed that." The students from both teams gathered around their royal captains, chattering excitedly about individual moments and shots. Hassan Ali was still beaming from his experience of opening the batting and then helping to finish the match. "Your Royal Highnesses," said Dr. Naila Khan, approaching with obvious emotion. "In all my years in cricket, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. You've both shown genuine skill and sportsmanship." But the day's surprises weren't over yet. As the players shook hands and began to leave the field, several of the academy's senior coaches gathered around Coach Rashid Ahmed for an urgent discussion. "What's happening?" Catherine asked, noticing the animated conversation taking place near the boundary. Rashid approached with a smile that suggested more excitement was to come. "Your Royal Highnesses, we have one final request, something that we think you'll both find very special." The mysterious final surprise would cap off a day that had already exceeded everyone's expectations, creating a moment that would resonate far beyond the boundaries of the Pakistan Cricket Academy. "We have something very special we'd like you both to experience," Coach Rashid Ahmed said with obvious excitement. "Something that represents the true spirit of Pakistani cricket." William and Catherine exchanged curious glances as they were led toward a section of the academy they hadn't visited earlier. Behind the main pavilion was a smaller, more intimate practice area where the academy's youngest students learned their first cricket lessons. About 20 children, ranging in age from 6 to 10 years old, were waiting with barely contained excitement. They were dressed in miniature cricket whites, holding child-sized bats and balls, their faces glowing with anticipation. "These are our future stars," explained Dr. Naila Khan softly. "They've been learning cricket for just a few months, but their enthusiasm is beyond anything you can imagine." 8-year-old Amina Shah stepped forward with remarkable confidence for such a young child. "Your Highnesses," she said in carefully practiced English, "would you like to play cricket with us?" Catherine immediately knelt down to Amina's eye level. "We would be honored to play cricket with you." What followed was perhaps the most joyful and spontaneous cricket session anyone present had ever witnessed. The formal structure of the earlier match gave way to pure, unfiltered enthusiasm for the game. William found himself bowling underarm deliveries to 6-year-old Ali Hassan, whose batting technique consisted mainly of wild swings and infectious laughter. Every contact between bat and ball, no matter how accidental, was celebrated as if it were a match-winning shot. 6 runs, Ali shouted after managing to hit a gentle delivery about 3 feet. "Absolutely," William agreed solemnly. "That was definitely 6 runs. Catherine discovered she had a natural ability to connect with the youngest players. 9-year-old Mariam Khan, who had been too shy to speak earlier, was soon chattering away about her dreams of playing cricket like her hero, Bisma Maroof. "Can you show me how to bowl like the fast bowlers?" Mariam asked. Catherine, who had learned her own bowling technique just hours earlier, provided earnest coaching advice that made the Academy's professional coaches smile with amusement and admiration. "Remember to keep your arm high and follow through," Catherine instructed, demonstrating the action she had been taught by Sanam Mir. The session had no rules, no scores, and no winners or losers. Children ran between wickets, celebrating every run as if it were the final of the World Cup. Catches were attempted and missed with equal enthusiasm. Bowling was a mixture of underarm, overarm, and everything in between. Hassan Ali, who had been the star of the formal match earlier, appointed himself as coach to the youngest children. His patient explanations and demonstrations showed wisdom far beyond his 10 years. "See how His Royal Highness holds the bat," Hassan explained to little Fatima, who was struggling with her grip. "Copy that, and you'll hit the ball better." William watched with obvious emotion as Hassan worked with the smaller children. "You're a natural teacher," he told the boy. "That's a very special gift." The most magical moment came when 7-year-old Omar Ali approached Catherine with a serious expression. "Your Highness," he said formally, "I have been practicing bowling. Would you like me to show you my best delivery?" Catherine accepted his challenge with appropriate gravity. Omar marked out a run-up that was longer than he was tall, concentrating with the intensity of a professional cricketer. His delivery was enthusiastic rather than accurate, bouncing several times before reaching Catherine. But she played it with complete seriousness, offering the kind of forward defensive shot that would have impressed any cricket coach. "Outstanding bowling," she said seriously. "That had me worried." Omar's smile could have powered the entire academy. As the informal session continued, something beautiful was happening around the edges. Parents and family members of the young cricketers had heard about the royal visit and had quietly gathered to watch. They weren't intrusive or demanding. They simply wanted to witness their children playing cricket with such distinguished visitors. Yasmin Malik, mother of 6-year-old fast bowler Bilal, wiped away tears as she watched her son bowling to Prince William with complete confidence and joy. "He's been talking about this day for weeks," she whispered to another parent. "He kept practicing his bowling in our apartment, driving the neighbors crazy." The Academy's photographers were capturing every moment, understanding that these images would become treasured memories for the families involved and important historical documents for the Academy itself. Dr. Naila Khan approached William during a brief pause in the action. "Your Royal Highness, I hope you understand what you've accomplished here today." "It's been an absolute pleasure," William replied, watching Catherine bowl gentle deliveries to a group of giggling children. "But what do you mean exactly?" "These children will remember this day for the rest of their lives," she explained. "Not because they met famous people, but because they experienced cricket as pure joy. That's what this game should be about." As the afternoon sun began to set, casting golden light across the Academy grounds, the informal session gradually wound down. Children who had been running around with endless energy began to show signs of tiredness, though their enthusiasm remained undimmed. The Academy staff gathered everyone together for a final group photograph. The image would later become iconic. Dozens of young Pakistani cricketers surrounding Prince William and Catherine, everyone holding cricket bats or balls, all faces beaming with genuine happiness. "Before you leave," announced Coach Rashid Ahmed, "we have one final presentation." Young Amina Shah, who had been the spokesperson for the children earlier, approached carrying a beautifully crafted miniature cricket bat. It had been signed by every student at the Academy and engraved with the date of the visit. "This is for you," she said to Catherine, "to remember your first cricket match." Catherine accepted the gift with obvious emotion. "This is beautiful. Thank you so much." But there was more. Hassan Ali stepped forward with a second miniature bat for William, this one signed by all the Academy coaches and staff. "Your Royal Highness," Hassan said with remarkable composure for his age, "we want you to know that you will always be welcome here. You are both honorary members of the Pakistan Cricket Academy." The formal presentations concluded, but the farewells continued for another 30 minutes as each young cricketer wanted a final moment with their royal visitors. Promises were made to continue practicing, dreams were shared about future cricket careers, and Contact details were exchanged so progress could be tracked. As William and Catherine finally prepared to leave, accompanied by their security detail and diplomatic staff, the entire academy gathered to wave goodbye. The sound of children's voices calling out thanks and good wishes echoed across the grounds. "That was extraordinary," Catherine said quietly as their car pulled away from the academy. "I had no idea cricket could be so emotional." William nodded, still processing the events of the day. "Did you see the look on Hassan's face when he was helping those younger children? That's what sports should do, inspire people to help others." Back at the academy, the cleanup was minimal. The children's enthusiasm had been infectious, but not destructive. As the last families departed and the facilities were secured for the night, the coaches gathered in the main pavilion to reflect on an unprecedented day. "I've been coaching for 30 years, said Yasser Hamid, shaking his head in amazement. "I've seen test matches, World Cup games, everything. But I don't think I've ever seen cricket create as much pure joy as it did today." The story of the royal cricket visit would be retold countless times in the years that followed. Newspaper articles, television documentaries, and social media posts would capture various aspects of the day. But for the students, coaches, and staff of the Pakistan Cricket Academy, the Rayal story was simpler and more profound. On a beautiful afternoon in Lahore, cricket had done what it does best: brought people together, created shared memories, and reminded everyone present why this ancient game continues to capture hearts and imaginations around the world. In the Academy's record books, the day would be noted simply: special match, royal visitors versus Academy students. Result: everyone won. The miniature bats presented to William and Catherine would take pride of place in their private apartments. Serving as permanent reminders of the day, they discovered that cricket, at its best, is about much more than runs and wickets. It's about connection, joy, and the simple pleasure of playing a game that has the power to unite people across all boundaries of age, culture, and status. Years later, when Hassan Ali made his debut for Pakistan's national team, he would dedicate his first century to the memory of that magical afternoon when he learned that cricket could create moments of pure happiness that last a lifetime.